What's up guys, it's your little off the gray back for another video, back here with another commentary video, and today I'm going to be talking about how a game that everybody is probably aware of. If not, you probably did not have a good childhood, and that video game I'm talking about is Angry Birds. Everybody should be pretty aware of what Angry Birds is, or Bad Piggy. It's a very nostalgic game. Now Angry Birds would have this section where you could watch Angry Birds tunes. It's like those mini cartoons they would have on the app for Angry Birds. It's like you could play a game, you could play the video game, and you could watch a cartoon in it as well. I mean, that was back then. All right, I haven't downloaded Angry Birds for a while, but a couple of days ago, Rovio, that owns Angry Birds, made a tweet that's related to the Angry Birds game, and it's making the unfortunate message to every single fan that's been supporting the Angry Birds series. Please read below for an important announcement regarding the availability of Rovio Classics Angry Birds. We have reviewed the business care of Rovio Classics Angry Birds, and due to the game's impact on our wider games portfolio, we have decided that Rovio Classics Angry Birds will be unlisted from the Google Play Store on Thursday, February 23. Additionally, the game will be renamed to Red's First Flight in the App Store pending further review. Rovio Classics Angry Birds will remain playable on devices on which the game has been downloaded even after it has been unlisted. We understand that this is sad news for many fans as well as the team that has worked hard to make Rovio Classics Angry Birds a reality. We are extremely grateful to the Angry Birds fans who have shown their love of the brand and this game from the beginning. We hope those fans can continue to bring that passion to our live Angry Birds slingshot games such as Angry Birds 2, Angry Birds Friends, and Angry Birds Journey, where our goal every day is to craft the best possible experience for players. Now, due to the game's impact, basically like the amount of people that have been playing Angry Birds and not in a very active sense, they have shut down the capability to play the game on the Google Play Store, and for the App Store, they're going to be renaming the game called Red's First Flight, which is the bird red, the logo for Angry Birds. And there are games such as Angry Birds Go, which is like Mario Kart but for Angry Birds, and I haven't played it. It's just kind of sad, just me reading this. All right, this was a couple days ago. I planned to make this video, but at that time I was making the video about the VTubers that got harassed for playing Hogwarts Legacy, so I wasn't able to make this video. But I was still like tired and exhausted from making that 22-minute video. That's a notification from my dad's phone that suddenly happened. It's just upsetting where one of your games that you grew up as a child is being terminated because of the lack of active players playing the game. And I digged a little deeper as to like what's the motive to this, and Rovio made a letter to their fans from 2021, which is like 2 years ago, the future of Angry Birds that I've recently found. A letter to our fans. We're committed to our fans and will start work on bringing some old games back. Dear fans, the old Angry Birds games are some of the most loved, downloaded, and known games in the world. We know we are so proud to have made them, and we are overwhelmingly happy that they've meant so much to you. But then we took them out of circulation and didn't say anything, and that let you down. Not cool. We promised our heart was in the right place. We wanted to focus on building new and even better games to serve our players in the best possible way going forward. The thing is, maintaining the highest quality of updates and live operations isn't possible with older games, as so many of these games were built so long ago on older technology, using outdated game engines and design. Today's mobile technology and games landscape has evolved to a place where supporting them was untenable, and we can't just leave them there and not update them, as games need to comply with all sorts of platform requirements. 10 years in game years is like 100 in human years. That's how quickly the industry advances. What we want to say though is, we hear you. There's a big outcry for getting back some of the older fan favorites, Angry Birds Classics, Angry Birds Seasons, etc. We also want to say we are working on it. We will find a way to bring these classics experiences back to you. It might take a while. Stay tuned. We will post updates, but we have something in the works. We are thankful for all of our fans and players who have been playing our games for the past 17 years. We never take our players' time spent with us lightly. We want to make you happy. We like our birds to be angry, not our fans. Love, Rovio. Now this letter, I really didn't know that this is something that Rovio posted, and I didn't know that they have an official website until now. And I guess this is just an update, or I guess a statement that they want to make because of the changes going on with Angry Birds, and saying stuff like what we're gonna do with these games, what we're gonna do to make it better. And yeah, there are some games that not a lot of you have heard of. For example, like Angry Birds Space, which is probably my favorite Angry Birds sequel, and then there was Angry Birds Transformers, and there was Angry Birds Star Wars, Angry Birds 2, which I haven't played. I mean, I remember back then I would used to play Angry Birds on Facebook. I didn't have Facebook, alright, my mom did, and I would always ask her if I could use Facebook, that way I could play Angry Birds. I would play for like a good hour per se, or 30 minutes, let's put it that way, because since I was like, let's say 5 years old, playing Angry Birds on my mom's computer, and it just takes me back to where times were simpler, and that used to be like my favorite game, where I would always have the tendency to just knock out pigs on like poorly built buildings. So here's a Q&A that is still part of this letter that Rovio posted. Why were the games taken down in the first place? We know that these games have a special place in many fans' hearts, and the decision to take them down was not easy. Many of these games were built using an older technology which didn't allow us to keep them up to our standards. What are you, in fact, bringing back? We have to do some discovery on what is possible and for which games, but rest assured we will get some of these nostalgic favorites back online in the near future. Will the games come back identical to the way they were? We will strive to bring back the experiences and content as they were many years ago. We're nostalgic about some of our original games too. Is Angry Birds Reloaded what you mean by bringing back that experience? No, that's not what we mean. Angry Birds Reloaded is a cool game that you can play exclusively on Apple Arcade. However, it is somewhat based on and inspired by Angry Birds Classic. We hope you do try it out because you might really like it, but we're also working on these other things. Why make new games instead of fixing the old? We will always strive to deliver a joyful experience to our players, and in order to do this, we have set some rules and standards to follow. Part of this includes keeping our games updated with the latest technology, and this was no longer sustainable for most of our older games. The older games were designed in a completely different era of the mobile games industry, one that wasn't prepared for the live services and constant content and technological updates that many players expect and demand from today's mobile game experiences. We are constantly trying new things to bring you new and fun games. Why did you just put them live on the App Store again? Honestly, we're gonna have to rebuild a lot of those games almost from scratch in order to keep them complete with evolving platform requirements. When we know how, where, and what we can bring back, we'll let you know. But those old games as they are will still remain removed from app stores. Do you already know that a certain game will be impossible to resurrect? It would be ridiculous to not bring back the original game that started it all, wouldn't it? But with that in mind, we do have some discovery to do on how and where we are able to do this. We're continuously going to look at ways to maintain fan favorite games even if they are no longer available on the app stores. We will update when we have more information on which titles are coming, where and when. When will you share something? We aren't prepared to share a release date or first title at this time, but we'll try to keep some regular updates coming on our Twitter accounts as we find out more and have something to share. So to summarize it all up, Rovio has been making new games for the fans of Rovio, the Angry Birds fans, in other words, to, get them excited, to give them motivated, have their expectations very high. Although there were some games that aren't available for all devices, for example, like Angry Birds Reloaded, which is only on the iOS. And yeah, man, it's I don't know, it's kind of awkward for me just talking about this. Instead of Rovio Classics Angry Birds, now they just changed it to Red's First Flight. I guess that's what it's called. I already forgot about it. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, when it comes to people are nostalgic for this game, I mean, I haven't played an Angry Birds game in a while, in a long time. Alright, and I don't even know if there's an Angry Birds game in, well, actually, of course, it's not an Angry Birds game in PlayStation. Yeah, man, I just wanted to make a video talking about this, talking about Rovio, and Angry Birds will forever be on a special place in my heart, although it does sound a bit cliche. I'm pretty tired right now. I just got back from a long trip, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below you think about the video. This is WolfDogGray, and I'll see y'all later. Now, I had the audio planned or already edited in the video, but it's just that the audio got mixed in with the outro, so now I have to do the outro again just so I can finish this video up. Alright, but yeah, that's gonna be it. This is WolfDogGray, and I'll see y'all later. See ya.